Hey guys, Matt Rudisell with Leadership Academy, and in today's episode of 5, the series to help boost your business and your life, I want to talk to you about the importance of a good follow-up. And what I'm talking about there is following up with your customers just to make sure they know that number one, you exist, number two, you care about them, and number three, you want their business. So why is this important? Let me give you a quick example. There are too many times that I go in and talk with somebody that maybe some things cross paths or they didn't get the right information. And if I would have just followed up a little bit sooner, I would have been able to secure that sale that much quicker. So let's talk about 5 things today that can help you with a good follow-up strategy. Number 1, once you visited the customer, immediately that evening or the very next day, send a thank you note. And this should be an email. So what you want to do is you want to send a quick email just saying thank you for your time. I appreciate the time that you gave me to meet with you or to speak with you over the phone. And if there's any product information that you need to send them, send it to them then. Email it. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, what I want you to do is follow up with them with a phone call about a week later. Okay, 1 week later, phone call follow up, and just kind of put your name out there again. Let them know who you are and what you're interested in, just so they don't forget about that card that you may have left or the email message, anything that you may have done. Make sure you call them a week later. Okay, number 3, I want you to visit them again about 4 weeks later. So we had the initial appointment, whether it be email, phone, or in person. Then a week later, we sent immediately we send that email thank you note. And then a week later, we do a phone follow-up. And then 4 weeks after that, so about a month after, we do an in-person visit. Okay, just to make sure they know exactly what you are wanting to present to them. Okay, hopefully you'll get the sale by now, but if you don't, in about 6 months after that, you need to make sure you send a postcard. Send something in the mail to them, a physical product in the mail, a postcard or a letter. Postcards always seem to work a little bit better. Just reminding them of who you are, what your company is, and the products that you're wanting to get in front of them. Because a lot of times people might not be ready to make that decision at the first, appointment, but as long as they keep you in their mind, about 6 months later, it's a great time to send that follow-up postcard. Okay, then if you still don't have the sale, about 10 to 12 months after that, you need to do another phone call. And this is a phone call just to check up on them, to see how they're doing. Maybe some things that you had in common you might want to talk to them about. You want to really show them that you're invested in them as a person, as a company, and then hopefully the relationship that you're building now will help lead to the sale of your product or service. So I hope you guys understood these 5 tips. Let's go over them really quickly one more time. Number 1, immediately after you have that initial conversation, whether it be in person, through email, or a phone call, maybe that evening or the next day, send a follow-up email thanking them for their time. And if there's any information you need to send them at that time, do it then. And that could be product information or whatever you have. Number 2, about a week later, the very next week, you want to do a phone call follow-up. Just so they know your name, just so they remember you. You don't want them to misplace your information, or worse than that, put another company's name in with your product. Okay, and that could happen. People are busy today, so make sure you keep that momentum going. Okay, then about 4 weeks after that, you want to visit them in person. And this may be a setup appointment, or it could be almost like a spur of the moment. I'm in the neighborhood. I wanted to stop by and see you and show you what I've got, and just make sure that you remember our conversation from before. The 4th thing I want you to do is send them a postcard after about 6 months from that initial visit. So 6 months later, just so it doesn't go stale, just so they understand what you've got, what your product is, and who you are. Send them a postcard, something in the mail, just showing something brief about you and your company, and something they can remember you by. And then finally, number 5, if you haven't made the sale yet, about 6 months after that, or about 10 to 12 months after the initial conversation with them, send them a follow-up phone call. Call them, leave them a message. Make sure you talk one-on-one with them, that they call you back, and you speak to them about things going on in their life, how things are going with their business. Generally be concerned with how they are growing and how your product may be able to assist them. The biggest thing about sales today is it's not so much pushing the fact that people need to buy your product or your service. A lot of sales today come from that relationship, and relationship marketing is so important because it's something that will help grow your business. So these are 5 tips that I think you can use today. The 5 tips to help you with a good follow-up, and hopefully you'll be able to implement these in your business. And until next time, I wish you much success, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a good day.